Peace and blessings, family. It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Lions Den Broadcasting Community. Shout out to the Louisiana All American Sports Network. And shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. This is our wire analysis. We breaking on episode 1 in the first season of The Wire. I got my brothers with me. My brother, 7A Sports TV. How you doing this morning, bro?
Doing wonderful, brothers. Man, thank you for having me. Salute to all the family in the chat, man, and the panel.
Man, we appreciate you, bro. And shout out and salute to my brother, Jared 11 Green. How you doing this blessed morning, bro?
Man, I can't complain. Happy to be on the panel with you guys, man, to talk about one of the greatest crime series that was ever made.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, we're going to dive right into it. Before I give my recap of episode 1, season 1, give y'all my best Mark Dark impersonation. Shout out to Mark Dark. I like the recaps he give different episodes of our Power or BMF or whatever. Before I give my best impersonation of him, we're just going to kind of go around the horn. We're going to start with the general. Bro, how you ended up starting the just briefly and quickly, tell us how you ended up starting the LDBC, and then I'm going to just kind of go around the horn.
Well, it was a situation where, I was in the conscious community, I guess you call it, on YouTube, and dealing with different black issues. I had just got out of jail, and then beat a serious case and stuff like that, and I wanted to kind of give back and kind of learn more about what's up with our people, from different aspects. I didn't care. I didn't have no ism and no schism. I'm saying? I was a Muslim at the time, but I was totally fine with if you was a Christian, an Israelite, I didn't care about none of that stuff, man. If you was an atheist, I didn't care. But so I wanted to just work with black folks and try to figure out what we could do to better our situation. And I can get back a little bit. But then I started getting frustrated with them in the conscious community because all they want to do is argue with each other about isms and schisms and spookism, mysticism, and what's the right religion and this and this and that. So I just said, man, look, while y'all doing all this, man, we still getting stepped on out here in these streets. Like white supremacy is destroying us, and y'all over here arguing about nonsense. So I started, I always been a boxing fan, always. So that's like my earliest memories with my dad is watching boxing, you know what I'm saying? So, and my mom watched boxing. And my mom was watching the fight last night, you know what I mean? So, so what I did was I used to peek in and watch the fights and stuff on YouTube, or highlights of the fights that just happened. Then I started seeing people was actually talking about the fights. So I'm like, wow, okay, these people talking about the fights and stuff, and doing reviews and stuff. This is pretty cool. So you get to hear other boxing fans' thoughts, which is just, I never seen nothing like that before. It was always usually just, in the barbershop or at the crib on the block talking, not on YouTube or nothing. Because I'm still getting used to, I was still getting used to YouTube. So from there, I didn't have a boxing page. I just used to, look in. But after years went by and I got frustrated with the conscious community, I created a boxing page. And I started talking boxing in the YouTube boxing community called the YTBC at the time. And then what ended up happening with that was that got overrun with racists, and people was just so ridiculously biased against black fighters. And if you a black fan and you like a black fighter, then they call your names and try to bully you off of supporting your own fighters, but they can support their fighters, And nothing wrong with a Latino, a Mexican supporting a Mexican fighter. Nothing wrong with a Puerto Rican supporting a Puerto Rican. Ain't nothing wrong with Filipinos supporting Filipino. Nothing. As soon as you black and you black American, you like this other black fighter or something, then they call you a racist or something. So when I got tired of that, black channels and black fans was getting attacked all the time online. So I created the Lions Den boxing community at the time and it was for everybody who just wanted to talk boxing without all the racist nonsense of the YTBC. and they ended up still stalking us and harassing us. And but um, it became the most powerful group of boxing fans, in my opinion, ever. You know what I'm saying? We known everywhere.
Facts.
You know, we're talking about promoters know us, fighters know us, all the networks know us, and I know this factually. They know us, and they try to pretend like they don't to lessen our strength and all that kind of stuff. But trust me, behind closed doors, they know exactly who we are and all of that kind of stuff, man. And so it's been a lot of imitators. People see it and they try to duplicate it and replicate it, but they ain't gonna never be able to do it because our intentions was pure. Our intentions wasn't about coming here trying to finesse nobody or nothing. We just wanted to be boxing fans. And then it branched into basketball. You know what I'm saying? With my brother Ticket TV holding it down for the basketball, and the other brothers over there, and Too Raw for TV and everybody. So we got the basketball, and then at that point we start talking about other issues, you know, social issues and stuff. So we changed the name pretty much from boxing community to broadcasting community because we do whatever we want to do whenever we want to do it. So that's pretty much how it went down.
Okay, bro. Okay, that's good stuff right there. I really like that. I really like that. Now, my brother Jared, how you ended up joining the LDBC?
Well, I always been a boxing fan, and just love boxing. I just ran in 7 8 Sports TV channel, the LDBC, and the other brothers associated with them, like a Black Fight fan with his Trill Talk, who he sorely missed, but and it just felt like family. You know what I mean? Just it felt like your uh, uncles or brothers or family members just talking about boxing, man. And I've been with the LDBC ever since, man.
Okay, okay, that's what's up. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all my personal journey when it came to me in terms of me joining the LDBC. What ended up happening was I was working at this school on the West Bank in New Orleans, right? I was working at this elementary school, and of course, like y'all brothers, I'm a huge boxing fan also. But there was nothing that really could kind of, I guess, outside of watching boxing itself, there was nothing that really could, I guess, kind of scratch that itch when it came to boxing. So what I ended up doing was I used to be in the chat with Dan Raphael, Dan Rayfield. I used to be in his little chat. He had this thing called the Friday Fight Freaks or whatever. So it's like the chat you would have for like 7 8 channel, or it's like the chat you would have for like True Boxing Talk. But it was just a chat. It was no live video, no pictures, no nothing. It was just a straight chat, right? So I ain't gonna lie, it was cool, but the thing that really kind of like drove me away from him was he kept pushing the Lomachenko narrative. And anytime you work for a company or organization, they always gonna want you to toe the company in line and push the company's narrative. And their narrative was, even though Vasily High-Tech Lomachenko has one unavenged loss and he has less than 10 fights, pound for pound, he's a better fighter than Andre Ward and Terrence Bud Crawford. And that just kind of drove me crazy. The thing that was kind of like the final straw for me, because you would send your question to him and he would decide what questions he gonna take and answer or not. I ain't gonna lie, he answered like a couple of Deontay Wilder questions for me because I'm a huge Wilder fan. And basically, he answered a couple Wilder questions or whatever. He answered like a question I had, like the two Klitschko brothers fought, who you think would win, that type of thing. But the thing that was kind of like the final straw for me when it came to Dan Rayfield was like, basically this guy was asking a Lomachenko question, and his adamant stance was he believed that Lomachenko at 130 against a prime, not Money Mayweather, but a prime Pretty Boy Floyd version of Floyd Mayweather Jr., even though I don't like Mayweather outside the ring because, I really don't rock with the way he moves. He kept pushing the issue that, oh, it's a 50-50 fight. And I'm like, bro, there's no way this dude could legitimately believe this. Like, ESPN has to be pushing this narrative. And he kind of stood on his square and basically said, like, hey, despite what y'all say, despite what y'all might think, I don't care what you say. Loma and a prime Floyd, pretty boy Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a 50-50 fight at 130. Lomachenko at his best versus Floyd at his best. And after that point, I'm like, bro, I can't rock with this dude no more because he's clearly trying to push this Lomachenko narrative. So I'm not gonna lie, when it came to YouTube, me kind of being a coaching guy, a sports guy, the only two reasons I really got on YouTube was either to listen to music, like when I was doing my workouts, or to like watch sports clips. Like one of the clips I used to watch all the time, even though I never did like the Boston Celtics because Senior couldn't stand the Boston Celtics. It's a whole backstory because he, the Celtics were predominantly white, and Brett Musburger kept pushing the Celtics narrative, so on and so forth. But when the Celtics won the NBA championship and Kevin Garnett was like, anything's possible, that was like kind of one of like my favorite sports clips of all time. So I used to kind of watch different sports clips like that, so on and so forth. And then when I ended up going to my previous school, I kind of started watching YouTube more. But the thing that really kind of was the thing, the catalyst to push that was a lot of my students that were in my class and even like the starting point guard on my basketball team, they were all like associated with this like local comedian named Funny Mike that was on Wild 'N Out. Like his nephew was the starting point guard on my basketball team. Like a lot of those bad kids, like Dee, like Bam, like a lot of them were in my class in my previous school. So I kind of got more into YouTube because of that. And then I ended up landing on this hater channel. I'm not going to say the name because, I'm really not all about the mess and the drama. But the individual that kept hitting on 7-8 that moved overseas, y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say no names. And I landed on his channel. And then I ended up landing on 7-8 channel. And then I'm not going to lie. I'm like, man, hey, I really like this content. So that's why now, like, I'm going through like a push where I'm like mass producing content because when I landed on 7-8's channel, like I start like mass watching like show after show after show when he had like the channel with the dominoes falling, that's when I really kind of start, following that channel. And then it ended up leading down a rabbit hole in terms of I kept saying him. I kept hearing you say LDBC. And I'm like, what the heck is the LDBC? And then, you explained it. And then I ended up, following Black Fight Fan. And then like True Boxing Talk is like my favorite YouTube show like ever of all time. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think Black Fight Fan and yourself and CC really understood like what it did for the culture in terms of LDBC. And I'm not gonna lie, it really got me through like a lot of tough times like during the pandemic because, True Talk in the morning was like the best thing, in my purview. The only probably thing was like next closest to it was like Kevin Samuels and his content. But even that, like True Talk in the morning during the pandemic was like above and beyond that. So, of course, then you open up like LDBC memberships and the fees and this, that, and the third. And then of course I ended up meeting both of y'all brothers personally, in Dallas at the LDBC meet and greet in 2022. Ended up meeting Bill Haney. That's why I understand why Bill Haney gets all his hate to this day. Like this dude, like I'm from South Louisiana. I met so many like nice people in my lifetime. And where I'm from, like we believe in treating people the way we want to be treated. And I'm not gonna lie, you wouldn't think this dude is a multi-millionaire. You wouldn't think he have all the things he got going that he has going. And this dude is like one of the nicest people I've met in life. So I don't understand why he gets all this hate. It's just beyond me.
And let me interject, man. Like when we went to JB and Pops, when we went to the meet and greet, one of the first people that we ran into was Bill Haney, and he was very nice, man. And
outside of 7-8,
yeah, all everybody there was cool, man, and he was cool as a fan, man, cool as a fan. But go ahead, brother.
And what ended up, of course, I think I met Black Fight Fan first, probably. No, I take that back. I met 7-8 first. And then, my plan was to kind of like move around the room and shake and move and network and meet different brothers and this, that, and the third. But what ended up happening, I did meet my brother Jared and JB. And it was like this corner of us, Jared, JB, J Good, Brent Fox. That was like really the inception of the Southern Baller Show. That's kind of where we met. But the bright side of it was like that was like the genesis of the Southern Baller Show. That's where we met. That's where like the inception of the show, because I was doing boxing content then, but I wasn't getting like no traction. And 7-8 and I had talked behind the scenes in terms of like back and forth in terms of email, and 7-8 was like, bro, do this, do that. I kind of did everything he said, but the traction was still slow. And I already had like plans. I think I might have did like a one-off Southern University video, but the Southern Baller Show, it kind of gave me kind of something to sink my teeth in. And the irony of the whole situation is, I remember we did the first episode. Like 7-8 was like the only person in the chat. So, it just kind of is like this right here is kind of like a full circle moment. But, that's how I ended up joining the LDBC. And, of course, it's everybody like in my circle. We got a group chat. It's all love. Everybody rock solid. And, I just love the LDBC. It kind of reminds me so much of Southern, because I remember, a few weeks back, 7-8 Nick J was talking about like sitcoms of the past. A lot of people don't realize, like, a lot of people end up going to like HBCUs because of a different world. And basically like that vibe and that atmosphere when I go to Southern University games, like every time I'm around the brothers in terms of us doing shows together, like us being backstage watching fights, like my brother Cadillac Red last night, is kind of always like that same type of vibe and that same type of experience. That's why I love the LDBC. Whether I have like a 50 subscribers like I once had, I'm up to like what I think like 428 or something like that. The channel moved in the right direction, and of course I owe a lot of that to Jaguar Nation, and I owe a lot of that to the LDBC. So everybody that's kind of been supporting my channel, that's been rocking with me, I appreciate y'all to the fullest. And of course I appreciate the brothers being on. And this is my analysis and recap of the first episode of season 1 of The Wire. Of course, in our previous episode, we kind of did a prequel in terms of like who our favorite characters are, what we like about the show, so on and so forth. So let me break down the first episode. This is episode 1, season 1 is an hour and 2 minutes for those individuals that haven't not watched it yet. Oh, and this is a spoiler alert. Even though it's like 2024 and The Wire ended in like 2008, there's still a lot of people that have not watched The Wire yet. So if you have not watched The Wire yet and you don't want any spoilers, please click off. Once you watch episode 1, then you come back and you watch this breakdown. So
matter of fact, Coach, make sure when you get a chance, put edit in the title. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
Just to be sure. Even though the show was old, like you said, there may be some, Johnny come latelys, which is okay. They haven't seen The Wire yet, especially all the younger generation. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely a spoiler alert. Episode 1 is The Target. Baltimore detective Jimmy McNulty gets assigned to a new task force. That was in the description. So of course the opening scene is a crime scene, and Jimmy McNulty is interviewing a potential witness. Omar Isaiah Betts, also known on the street as Snot Boogie, has been deleted. And basically, McNulty is interviewing a potential witness. And basically, the witness kind of breaks down what happened. Basically, Snot Boogie, he kind of get with the witness and all the other guys from the neighborhood. And basically, they shoot craps like every Friday night. And essentially, what ends up happening is Snot Boogie end up just grabbing the cash and running. And basically, McNulty was like, if y'all know he's going to do this every single time, then why do y'all let him play? So the next scene, McNulty is walking into the courtroom with Bunk, Detective Bunk, and they talking about the same thing. And basically, he was saying that the witness told him like, "Hey, this is America. You gotta let him play." And I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was like the stupidest thing ever. Like, if you know he gonna try to snatch the money and run, and y'all always end up catching him and beating him up, like, why even let him play? Like, why not just avoid that? But that's another topic or another aspect of it. And then McNulty, he goes to D'Angelo Barksdale's trial, murder trial. And of course, there's two witnesses. There's witness William Gantt, and there's Nikisha Lyles, who's a security guard that works in, the security booths, of the apartment complex that the Barksdale organization has. So after that scene, McNulty is talking to Detective Barlow, and basically he's telling him that his case that is currently in court, is getting ready to go sideways. And basically Barlow was like, "Hey, I got two witnesses and a statement. There's no way this dude gonna walk." And after that, we are introduced to Detective Shakima Greggs, Herc, and Carver. Then in the next scene, D'Angelo Barksdale is found not guilty. And of course, the entire Barksdale organization is there. You have Stringer Bell sitting in the back with a suit on, some glass in the legal pad, drawing some cartoon characters or whatever. You have Weebay, Stinkum, basically the whole crew there to kind of show their support for D, and also to a certain degree that they're trying to intimidate witnesses also. So after that, Judge Fallon, he wants to see McNulty in his study. Then after that, we get another scene with Detective Daniels, Kima Gregg, and Carver. After that, the funk hits the fan when it comes to McNulty running his mouth off to Judge Fallon. McNulty and Bunk are at another crime scene, and basically Detective McNulty tell Bunk like, "Hey, don't answer the phone because hey, don't like my brother said week before last. Hey, don't give a F when it's not your turn to give a F." So he ran his mouth off to Judge Fallon, and basically the major is upset with McNulty. He called him in the office. He upset that he ran his mouth off. The deputy commissioner ended up chewing out the major because basically McNulty ran his mouth off about unsolved cases, so on and so forth. And he gave Judge Fallon the whole background on Avon Barksdale. After the next scene, Weebay is bringing D'Angelo to Orlando's to meet with his uncle Avon. And basically D'Angelo, he started breaking codes in terms of, talking about stuff he shouldn't be talking about. So Weebay, hey, he turned up the music. He said, "Let's take a walk." And basically he was like, "Hey, what's the rules?" And D'Angelo has to recite the rules to Weebay in terms of, "Hey, we don't talk in the car. We don't talk about this. We don't talk about that because we don't know if we being bugged, or being tapped, or whatever the case may be." After that, D'Angelo actually goes into Orlando's, and Avon scolds him. The next scene, D is trying to go to the towers. Of course, the towers is the high rises, the apartment complex they run out. D'Angelo has been demoted from the towers to the pit. The pit is the low rises, where they sell drugs, so on and so forth. Next scene, we introduced to Wallace, Pooh, and Bodie. Then after that, the scene after that, we introduced to Bubbles and his white rock star friend Johnny. Next scene details basically the whole crew, Wallace, Pooh, Weebay, they need to tighten up because the way they sell drugs from the pit, if somebody's doing surveillance on them, they basically would have the entire thing on tape. And basically what he's saying is like, "Hey, y'all need to tighten up." So he's telling the crew they need to tighten the ship up. Then after that, the white boy Johnny, he has another scene with Bubbles. He telling him, "Hey, he ready to run a scam that Bubbles running," and basically Bubbles like, "Man, you too green in this. You're not ready for this yet." So in the next scene, the white boy Johnny, he tries to burn them. They already burned him. Now they're trying to burn him again. And basically they catch him and they severely beat him up. They beat him up badly, put him in the hospital. The next scene in Orlando's, Stringer explains why they beat the white boy Johnny up so bad. and basically it's to send a message. It's not about the money, and basically telling D you can't show no weakness. Then after that, the pretty young lady that we're gonna talk about, like at some point later on, that works in the club, that works in Orlando. She goes sit next to D and she tell D to buy a drink. Of course, anybody that's kind of been in a gentleman's club, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a born again believer. I go to church every Sunday, but I'm a sinner saved by grace. So I kind of frequent a couple of these establishments. It's just a hustle, they drink for free, but that's a way to kind of get tips, whatever. They tell the customers buy them a drink. So basically, she trying to get D to buy a drink. D is like, nah, another time. Then the next scene, they show Shakima and her girlfriend. Then after that, next scene, you got Bunk and McNulty again. Next scene, Bubbles is in the hospital visiting his white rock star friend Johnny. And Shakima Gregg, she shows up, and Bubbles, she was like, I didn't know you was out. She was like, when you got out, he was like a few months ago. And she was like, dang, you don't call, you don't let me know what's going on, woo, whatever. And then in the last scene, the witness, William Gant, is found deleted. He was in basically the second scene of the episode. And they found
he was the only one man enough to testify.
Yeah, he was the only one man enough to testify, and basically they're trying to send a message to the rest of the people, like, hey, you don't come against the Barksdale organization, you don't snitch, you don't run your mouth off. So he was the only one that had the testicular fortitude to say, I'm gonna testify against the Barksdale organization, and now they ended up deleting him, and they found him unalived. So I'm gonna turn it over to my brother Jared 11 Green, bro. The floor is yours.
All right, Coach. Thank you for that recap. So basically, we're gonna go into the questions. So starting with Brother 78, the general. Why did they let Snot play in the crap game if they knew he was going to steal the money? In your opinion?
Well, in my opinion, man, this is my opinion. For me being in the streets and being locked up and just listening to different stories and stuff and watching different goofy stuff happen, I just think a lot of people, man, ninjas have horrible conflict resolution skills, and ninjas are confrontational. They just is. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I've been through enough to know. I've seen people get into altercations when it's preventable. All somebody got to do is stand down, walk away. But people got this I know punk attitude. So it's like it's a stare down. Who gonna flinch first? You know what I'm saying? Who gonna blink first? That's what's happening. So at this point, when McNulty asked him, well, why are you letting them play if he steals the money every weekend? It gives them something to do. One, they get to play dice, shoot dice, right? Then they get to beat this guy up every Friday, right? And beat him up enough to where they're not hurting him enough to where he's afraid to come back. They beat him up enough to where he can survive for that week and then come back. It's a vicious cycle of what they call it, Tweety Bird and Sylvester. You know what I'm saying? And Tom and Jerry. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever like they could have been got rid of this dude. Had they broke his legs and broke his hands or something, they could have easily taught him a lesson and got him away, but they wasn't. They over there playing with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you remember. You remember the movie Porky's?
Yeah. I remember, bro.
Now you remember when dude Mickey was going out after they first went to Porky's and Porky's, he had a little practical joke on him and dropped him in the water, messed up their car.
Beer all over the place doing stupid stuff.
Right. And Mickey went up there, back up there by himself. He got beat up. And then talking about he gonna go back. His brother told him, he said, look, man, right now, he's playing with you. But eventually, he's gonna get tired of playing with you. He's gonna hurt you. He's gonna hurt you bad. He didn't listen, and that's what happened. You got ribs broken and everything. My thing is this: when it comes to a lot of these guys in the community, so-called street dudes and all that, a lot of them is bored, bro, with nothing to do. Conflict resolution skills horrible. Don't know how to talk their way through a certain situation that could easily be diffused. You could save somebody's life. You could easily say, "Nah, dude can't come to the party, fam. If dude come, I ain't coming." Hey man, nah. But people messy. Nah, man, let them come through, man. Y'all just chill out, man. Y'all just chill out. Then somebody get 2-3 people get popped at the party. Now it's, man, y'all wilding. No, you could have prevented it. You know they got beef. You know they don't get along, but you just want to see some mess. So I wasn't shocked by it.
Thanks.
You know, it's typical. Why let this dude keep coming back around playing dice or coming to your dice game if you know what he's finna do? Because they wanted the mess. They messy. They confrontational by nature. And they got zero conflict resolution skills. Now, to a normal, sane person like us, we looking at this like, this is stupid, bro. This don't even make sense. This is not, why I do that? Because we not ninjas. They is.
Well said. And 70, it always bothered me. Like, so all the 100 times you let Snot play the game and he still snatch the money and try to run, right? So the one time he get deleted, I would think they had a new person in the crew that was a hothead that didn't play that. So why didn't they, kind of warn Snot or, hey, don't do that? You know what I mean? That was what I was always thinking. You know what I mean? So you're absolutely right.
Yes, indeed.
Same question to you, Coach.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. In some places, because it depends on the school or school district. It's called elementary schools. Others it's called primary schools. Bro, when I was in primary school in first grade, we used to, 7, 8 maybe could relate to this. We used to shoot marbles, right? And, there are 3 different types of marbles. They're like the cat eye marbles that looks like an actual, like cat eye, but we didn't call those cat eyes because they were like clear. They got like a little thing in the middle. They look like actual cat eyes. Then they had the little black marbles and the little white marbles. So we used to shoot marbles. And we weren't allowed to play for keeps because playing for keeps, whoever won got all the marbles. Right? We weren't allowed to play for keeps because, is a primary school is only 3 buildings. You have the library and the cafeteria was 1 building. They have 1 building with like a couple grades, and you have another building with a couple other grades. It only went up to like 3rd grade. So during recess, we would play marbles, and there would always be a guy. He would razoo the marbles. What that means is, if he playing against somebody else for keeps, whether he win or whether he lose, he would snatch the marbles and run when the bell rang. And if somebody, and even sometimes, even if they weren't playing, they would razoo somebody's marbles. So we were in 1st grade, bro. And we had to understand that, hey, if this particular, we knew we weren't allowed to play for keeps because there'd always be some mess or whatever. And we're going to build and somebody would go crying to the teacher. And then it would lead to a big, some confusion. So we had enough understanding. And first of all, I realized we couldn't play for marbles. We couldn't play for keeps. And then second of all, if we shoot marbles, whether we playing for keeps or not, if this person razooed marbles more than once, he wasn't allowed to play with us. He wasn't even allowed to be around us. Bro, we were in the 1st grade and we had this understanding. So you mean to tell me these ninjas are grown men and they let this dude play in this crap game every Friday night? To me, that was beyond stupid. And like 7A said, he phrased that real well. They don't have conflict resolution skills. And, when I was at my previous school, at the end, like the last couple of years I was there, they didn't have the same kind of students that I have at my current school. But basically, the students when I first got to the previous school, that environment is kind of a lot like the environment in The Wire. And it, especially prevalent during season 4. That's why I say from a teacher's perspective, I could really relate to that season because some of those instances, some of those examples that were brought up in season 4, I went through that as a real life teacher. But you got to realize these kids come from these same environments, and that previous environment I was in, just like the situation with this crap game, they don't have no conflict resolution skills, and a lot of these things are preventable and avoidable, and they just, like 7A said, I think they're just ninjas. They like entertainment, they like something to do. So I think that's what it really came down to more than anything. To me, I think the easiest way to resolve that whole situation is before it escalates to violence, somebody getting beat up, before somebody even gets deleted, just don't let him play. To me, that was the stupidest thing ever. I think that was the reasoning and rationale behind it. It just kind of gave him something to do. But at the end of the day, we were in first grade and we had this understanding like, hey, if this dude gonna razzle our marbles and snatch him and run and take him, we not letting him play with us, whether we playing for kids or not. Because we know, guess what? Hey, he done already done it more than once. So if he done done it at least twice, that means he's capable of doing it again. So guess what? He's not gonna play with us. We're not gonna let him play. So to me, that's crazy. As first graders, we had that understanding, and they didn't have this same type of understanding. And this dude ended up getting deleted because he snatched the money and ran. Stupid to me.
Very stupid. Okay. I like both of y'all answers. Okay, let's go move on to the next question. All right. Going back to you, General. Do you think McNulty knew talking to Judge Fallon would cause him so many problems? Or cause so many problems? Do you think he cared?
Yes. McNulty is a scumbag. And I don't like guys like McNulty in real life. I like his character on The Wire. He got some he's entertaining. But McNulty is a scumbag because he don't understand the chain of command. He don't respect. I rephrase that. He don't respect the chain of command. He understands it. He don't respect the chain of command. Right? He goes above, over his boss's heads, and he takes advantage of his relationship, his friendship with the judge, to get some stuff going. Now, I understand his need to, he want to bring down the bar stills and all that kind of stuff. I get it, but it's not even your case. It's not even, you just sitting around snooping around being a male Karen. Like, you putting more workload on your colleagues, your other cops, and stuff like this, and people getting chewed out behind you, and instead of you just going to them saying, hey man, look, X, Y, and Z, this is what's going on. I appreciate if y'all put me on the case or something, assign me to it. Let me investigate because I got kind of a background on this before everything blow up, before this get turned into a big thing. Let me get these guys. He could have went and did that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he did that before, but the first episode didn't show that. But but to go to the judge and start snitching, pretty much is what he did. He went to the judge and started snitching, and it led to a firestorm. And his bosses got mad at him and stuff like that. And but the what's the guy's name? The McNulty's boss, the
Lieutenant Daniels.
No, the other one.
No,
the white guy.
The white guy.
Deputy, was it deputy?
Yeah, he was a deputy. No, not deputy commissioner. He was the major. Major Raw.
Yeah, major. Okay. The one who gave him the double fingers.
Yeah. Give him the double fingers.
Yeah. Now this dude, I don't know how I missed this the first time I watched The Wire, but when I rewatched it to prepare for this show, this dude is stone cold racist. This dude, did y'all hear what dude said?
Yeah.
I heard it clear the first time I watched it. And I'm like, bro, this dude dropping these M-bombs? I'm like, what is wrong with him?
I completely missed that the first time I watched the show. I'm like, hold up. So this dude just been walking around, that's a normal character, stone cold racist, and McNulty, no dude a racist, and ain't said nothing about it. Ain't said nothing to the other black man. Later for McNulty. McNulty a mark, man. He an opportunist. I don't like McNulty.
Oh, and one thing one thing I want to point out too, 7-8. He a tambourine player also, because one of them episodes when they went to look for Omar, he was hiding in the corner, just chilling, sipping on his drink or whatever. So not only is he a stone cold racist, but he, one of them tambourine players is part of that.
Right.
You beat me to that.
Yeah, I mean,
in that episode
hey,
you were singing
I'm not,
that tambourine
I'm
player,
not,
boy. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not knocking if that's what you do, but you into that type of lifestyle, and you just a scumbag piece of trash racist like a like a Ryan Garcia. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah,
what
you can't
is
have all
going
that.
on here?
Too much of that stuff add up. Everybody do what they want to do in their lifestyle, but like when you condone racism, you are a racist, you a snitch, a backbiter, and then on top of that, you got the nerve to be blowing on trumpets. Nah, you got too much going on. You know what I'm saying? You need to go to church. That's what you need to do. Go into church, sit out somewhere, and go somewhere and confess your sins or something, man. What is this dude? He all over the place, McNulty. And
Man,
he's a bad father, horrible father, deadbeat to me.
don't get me started when he had his, which is another season where he has two boys follow Stringer Bell.
Man, you hear
Man,
me? Crazy.
That is insane, bro. And that's another thing too. I'm glad you brought that up, 8. Man, a lot of these people kind of been putting it out there that black fathers are literally the best fathers according to data, statistics, and analytics. But they're not pushing that narrative. They want to make it seem like, black men are deadbeat fathers when black men are the most involved fathers more than any other racial group in this country. But that stuff like that don't get talked about, though.
Right.
yeah, you know what it is. People want to stay with that narrative to make themselves feel better about themselves. But you kind of answered it, but I'm still gonna go to you, Coach, because you didn't get a chance to answer the question. But same question: do you think McNulty knew that talking to Judge Fallon would cause so many problems, and do you think
Man,
he cared?
bro, deep down he knew. First of all, this is not your case. So while you sitting in the courtroom, looking at the whole D'Angelo Barksdale trial unfold, and then after that, you're going to turn around and you're going to go tell the person who actually worked in the case, like, hey, man, your case going sideways. Oh, no way. We got 2 witnesses and a statement. And then you're going to sit there and then you leave in the courtroom. Like, if you really, I think deep down he knew Judge Fallon was going to, summon him to his, to his office or whatever. Instead of you just getting out of Dodge and just say, all right, I'm out of here. You kind of taking your time getting out the courtroom. So, hey, the lady stopped you, and now you got to go to his office, whatever the case may be. Man, you knew it was going to be a firestorm after that. But at the end of the day, I really don't think he cared, because he was one of these type of people. He was just about pushing his own agenda. He really could care less about what the collateral damage is going to be. As long as he got what he wanted, he really didn't care. In fact, realistically, in many instances, he didn't even care about the consequences that he would face personally. So you don't care about, collateral damage that you're going to cause along the way. And you don't even care about the consequences you're going to receive personally. You just want your narrative and your agenda pushed. To me, bro, people like that are extremely selfish. Like I say, from a coach's perspective, it's always like a player that's only worried about his own stats. He's not worried about what's in the best interest of the team. And he just going to do what he wants. I can't stand those type of people, bro.
Okay. Well done, fellas. Well done. All right. Question 3. Going to the general again. After Avon scolded D'Angelo and D told the entire bear with me. So basically, after Avon got on D for deleting Pooh, should Avon have realized D didn't have what it takes to be the dope game, or could he put him in another position?
I think, me personally, I think it was too early to tell. Um, and you got to understand that that's his nephew, and not just any nephew. That's his sister's son. I don't know what that is, what that do, but your sister's son always different. I don't know what the sister's son always hit different. So like that's his sister's son, and his sister, it's a street family, so she know her son a little soft, but she also know that they family. Her brother is the king of the streets. She want to make sure her son is straight. And D'Angelo, I mean, he got it in him. You know what I'm saying? He'll kill her and all of that, but and he'll sell all that. But D'Angelo is a thinker. He got smarts. He got morals. He was outgrowing it. He was smarter than a lot of them other guys as far as his morality, right? But the problem with D'Angelo is he took advantage, in my opinion, he took advantage of the relationship, his status with Avon. Because normal people wouldn't be able to get away with saying the stuff and questioning the stuff he was questioning a lot throughout his existence on the show. But he got away with it because of his sister, his mom, and because of Avon, he family. So he thought that was going to get him somewhere. And it got him a lot of passes. But I think from that first episode and what happened, I think it was too early for Avon to fully know, all right, dude, my nephew a sucker. I think it was too early. I think that he would have to have had some more time to find that out. You know what I'm saying? I think that he made a stupid mistake, but I mean that's what they do. A lot of them do. Look, you got dudes down in the courtyard taking fake money from dope fiends. They don't know no better. Ain't nobody really schooling these dudes. You know what I'm saying? They're not really knowing what they're supposed to know. And so I don't think D'Angelo did nothing at that point to where Avon should have said, "Nah, my nephew ain't got it." I think it was too early. I think later on there was some stuff that happened that they should have made him know. But at that point, I think it was too early, in my opinion.
Okay, good answer. Hey, Coach, same question to you.
I'm gonna disagree with the general on this one. This is the reason being because first of all, for y'all individuals that ain't following 7 Sports TV's Patreon, go check out his Patreon. Especially like even myself that's in my 40s, is a lot of good game for me. But especially if you like in your late teens, early to mid 20s, or even older, is a lot of good game. And 7A talk about having different levels and different layers. I think the issue with Avon is he don't have like these different level and layers like somebody like 7-8. And in a story before D gave his explanation, basically what he said is, yeah, aren't you right? You always tell me about being overly emotional. I'm not gonna lie, from a teacher's perspective, whether the environment where the wire takes place, my previous school was in that type of environment. And in too many instances, I see these boys, they're overly emotional. They don't have conflict resolution skills. They don't know how to communicate effectively, so on and so forth. And, it kind of reminds me of like certain athletes. Like I'll give you an example, like Tank Davis. Tank Davis seemed like he definitely came up in like that type of environment. I'm going to do a video about that like coming up like in a couple weeks. But I think the fact that Avon knew D'Angelo was overly emotional, don't get me wrong, he's very intelligent in terms of, he was able to recognize like, hey, y'all need to tighten up the ship in terms of, hey, if somebody come and they start snapping pics and doing surveillance, they got the whole thing. You don't serve the fiends after you get their money. You send them around the corner. So he had that much understanding of the game. But I think the issue is one, he's morally conflicted. And I think another issue is the fact that D don't have all them levels like somebody like 7-8, and you know can do things in different situations. All Avon know is one way, and we're gonna do it the street way. But somebody has an organization his size, he could have put D'Angelo in another situation where he don't have to deal with the street stuff. But D is smart enough to do something else. I mean, don't get me wrong, he couldn't be a lawyer for him like somebody like a Levy, but all these other like things you got where you're using these other businesses to launder money for your drug organization. You could have put D in one of them spots to where he making good money, he making a good living, but he not involved in the dope game because he don't have the stomach for it. The fact that, you know, he was tripping about why y'all beat John up so bad just because he, you know, gave some fake money. And Stringer Bad explained it to him. It's not about the money, it's about the message, you know. So D'Angelo didn't have the stomach for the game. He didn't have the heart for the game. He was morally convicted. And him deleting Pooh, it showed that he was overly emotional. And somebody like that, if you're overly emotional, you know, you don't have critical thinking skills, you make stupid mistakes. And at the end of the day, somebody like that, they don't have what it takes to be in the dope game, to be truthful, because they're morally conflicted.
I agree with you on that part. I thought that well, the part I think we disagree on is where if the question is him deleting Pooh, was that should Avon had known at that point? I don't think I would have known at that point, because that's just some high-headed goofiness. And that happens a lot in the game. High-headed goofy stuff. And that's where you gotta say, look, man, don't do that no more. That's stupid. You acted stupidly. You got your body. This could have went left. This could have happened. That could have happened. Cost us a lot of money to get you out of that situation. If you look, you family. You gotta be smarter than that. You ain't like these other ones. But like you just said about old boy, like when this is what I said earlier. Certain things that he did later is why I think Avon should have knew he ain't have it. Being what he did, like you just pointed out, when the old boy had the counterfeit money. When dude had that counterfeit money and D'Angelo was acting like he didn't want to get an order to stomp him out, right then and there, you can't be down there. Because for one, now your soldiers underneath you is questioning your gangster. Yeah, you just pop somebody, but like now you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? What is this saying? Like, you got no problem popping some black dude, but a white crackhead who just stole from you is I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. All right, right then and there, if I'm Avon, I talk to my sister and be like, look, he ain't got it in him, right? The kid got a good heart. He a good dude. Let's find something else for him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Stringer Bell got the little print shop. Have him in there working for Stringer Bell, doing some print shop stuff or something like that. Send him to school.
Yeah, be in the front. Yeah.
Yeah. Do something like that. Or even if he gonna stay in the game, have him in somebody in a house counting money or something. Have him keeping count or the bread or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Have him be in the bag man to you know, count all the money and transport it from point A to point B. Have him doing that. You know what I'm saying? But in the streets, I think that at that point when he didn't have a stomach to stomp out the crackhead, that's when he should have known it. I mean, that's why I didn't have a stomach to sell crack. You know what I'm saying? I sold weed and I dealt with women and stuff like that, but crack, heroin, couldn't do it. The reason why is because those are the only things I ever seen a mother come to me and just like in total disgust and despair and be like, you know, they want the drug so bad, they would do anything, and I mean anything. That's just disgusting to me, bro. Like, I can't even stomach watching Mike Tyson do what he did for $20 million. You think I'm a stomach some black woman? You know what I'm saying? Some black woman begging and pleading, willing to do stuff to her own kids for one rock. Like, man, this is vicious. I ain't got the stomach for that, and I knew I ain't had a stomach for it. So, I chose to do other things and rob people who did that.
Man,
That's just my opinion.
very good perspective. Very good perspective, fellas. Moving on. Was deleting William Gant necessary after D'Angelo had already beaten the murder case? Going back to you, 8.
That's the part I don't remember, bro. I don't remember William Gant. I don't remember him. I kept thinking about that. Who was William Gant?
William Gant, you remember he was a black. There was 2 people that testified in court. One was the lady.
Yeah.
The other was the black man. The black dude was William Gant.
Yeah.
And at the end of the episode, he got one to the dome.
Yeah. Okay.
By Bird.
You said, was it necessary?
Yes, sir.
After D'Angelo had already beat the case.
Yes, sir.
I say yes, because in the streets you gotta do certain stuff like that. Like, look, at the end of the day, I'm the reason why I'm hesitating, because I'm trying not to curse all over your channel and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to watch my words. But like, I think that D'Angelo, being who he was, right, and in the streets, you cannot. No, excuse me, Avon Barksdale, being who he was, you cannot have people knowing the truth, witnesses, people who is openly willing to testify and cooperate, run around free. If they're a liability, they're a liability. It is what it is. So I think Avon, they ordered to get rid of him because he was a liability at that point. I mean, that comes with the streets. I mean, this is why I tell people all the time. I had a guy, acquaintance, associate, I should say, an associate, who back in the day, he got popped in the head. He survived though, by the grace of the ancestors, and God saved him. But he got popped in the head. He survived because what happened was he witnessed a crime take place. He witnessed these dudes do something to a girl. Like they deleted this girl because the girl was stealing. So they deleted her, right? He witnessed it. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't a part of the crew officially. But when the police came around asking questions, because somebody spotted his car in the vicinity, right? They couldn't prove he did nothing, but they spotted his car in the vicinity from a Burger King, a Burger King surveillance. Saw his car pull up to Burger King, like literally seconds, less than a minute after the shots went off. Now, they got his license plate, and they questioned him, right? He sound like he gonna crack. He telling them, well, I ain't trying to get got. I ain't trying to get dealt with. Cops is like, look, tell us what happened. He like, look, man, y'all ain't got nothing on me. I haven't done nothing. So even if I know who did it, y'all can't force me to say nothing. So the cops kept him in there illegally for like 2 weeks. They held him for like 2 weeks illegally. That's a lot of stuff that happens. People don't talk about. Cops had him in jail for like 2 weeks with no court date, nothing. Just trying to make him sweat it out. He didn't say nothing, bro. He didn't say nothing. And he just kept telling them like, nah, I ain't saying nothing. I ain't trying to get murdered. But just saying that is enough to where the police know you saw what happened. So when the judge finally made them release him, I remember he called me. And he said, hey, I'm out, man. I'm out. I said, you out where? Man, I've been locked up. You ain't hear what happened? I said, no. So he gets to telling me what happened. I said, hey, don't say nothing to me on the phone about that. I'm finna pull up on you. I want to talk to you, you know what I'm saying, in person. Don't tell, because I don't want to even know. Because if your phone is tapped and you tell me about a crime, now I'm involved in the conspiracy, and I'm doing fair time because I just heard about it and I ain't called and snitch on you. So I said, well, let me go and holler at you in person. So I pull up on him, and he telling me he all geeked up, high, and smoking weed and drinking, and he all, yeah, man, and he telling me the whole story. I'm like, man, that's crazy. He's like, yeah, man, I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I'm surprised they even did that around me. I said, well, look, bro, this the thing. You already messed up by even telling me. You see what I'm saying? That's another person who know about something who wasn't even there. I said, don't say. I'm not gonna run my mouth, but you don't say nothing else about this, bro. Blah blah. That same night, them one of them dudes came over and smoked with him, smoked a blunt with him, and popped him in the head. But he survived though.
Wow.
Yeah, he survived, and and the reason why they popped him, they told me. Well, one of the dudes, not the dude who popped him, but another somebody who ordered it, told me. He said, "Look, dude, he knew too much and he talking too much." It said, we know he told you something. I said, no, he didn't tell me nothing. They said, come on, bro, we know he told you something because you was over there sitting on the porch talking to him. I said, what? That's when I didn't even deny it, because at that point I knew they was over there in a car parked somewhere watching us. Right? So I said, man, these dudes is out here wilding. They said, man, we know he run his mouth because he told his cousin. His cousin told a girl, and the girl told us. And I know he had to tell you. So basically, what I'm saying is, people are gonna clean up their mess. They're not gonna leave no fingerprints. They're not gonna leave no liabilities out there. So I think I think it was necessary for them to get rid of dude, in my opinion.
Okay. Coach, same question.
Well, I'm gonna be truthful. I really don't see life from that perspective. I kind of have like a D'Angelo Barksdale type point of view, from the standpoint of, I think if drug dealers just sold drugs and that was the end of it, I don't think they would get arrested. That's just my personal opinion. But the bodies and all the collateral damage and all the ancillary things that come with the drug game is what, like, is the reason why you have a war on drugs at the end of the day. And I think 7-8 right from a street perspective, but I think the issue with it is the fact that you pop William Gant. You really kind of made it. Well, really, D'Angelo, D'Angelo being in the situation he was in, like Avon told him, it cost us time, it cost us money, and not only that, it made it hot, but the fact that you deleted a state's witness, it made it even hotter. So I think the fact that he beat the case, I know from a street perspective, that's how guys look at it. Like, hey, this is the necessary evil. It's part of the game. But I think that's the thing that kind of brought more attention to the Barksdale organization, besides D doing what he did to Pooh. But it made it much hotter, and I think that's the thing that really kind of brought him down. I think D doing what he doing was like the first domino to fall, and then deleting William Gant was the next domino, and it ended up setting off a chain reaction. It was like a domino effect. So at the end of the day, I think that's the reason why. I know from a street perspective, they were looking at it that they had to do what they had to do, but I think that's the thing that kind of made everything hot for them and for the organization.
Of course, this may be a generic answer, but this how I feel. I agree with both of you guys. From your perspective, Coach, and 78. Of course, on the street side, and of course, dealing. If you watch like a mafia movie, or from The Godfather to Goodfellas, Casino, or in movies like that, if you witness a crime, or you was involved in something, that you may be a snitch, or the organization don't want to chance ratting them out, they gonna handle you. So of course, from a street perspective, that may have been the smart thing to do, but I understand Coach's perspective as well. I agree. So I agree with both sides. Moving on, what were your overall thoughts on episode 1?
I thought it was a good kickoff. A good kickoff, man. McNulty, his interest in what's going on. I thought it was a good kickoff to the situation, to the show. McNulty meeting his partner. I keep forgetting dude's name.
Bump.
Yeah, Bunk. I'm sorry. Yeah, McNulty meeting Bunk. Bunk, one of my favorite characters of the show.
Mine too.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why, but my mama loved Bunk, man. She loved him. She loved him. I think she loved him from Waiting to Exhale, one of the other movies. But anyway, she always say, he's such a nice man. Man, you don't even know this dude. He's a nice man. Anyway, but Bunk was cool. So watching McNulty, they shaped the character and pretty much told you who McNulty was in the first episode, who he was and what he was going to be. It also, in the first episode, showed you Avon Barksdale and his reluctance to really G-check his nephew, D'Angelo, which is why Stringer had to check him and say, he sent Stringer. Remember, D'Angelo sent Stringer. I'm sorry. Avon sent Stringer to discipline his nephew and tell him, you're not in the towers no more. And ironic how Stringer was the one to send that to send him to his maker later on. So the first episode pretty much told you the story of The Wire. The only thing I would regret about The Wire, I wish Kima would have stayed with her baby, because I thought they made a nice couple in my perverted voice.
You stupid. Well, anyway, Coach, your opinion.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I think the thing that I like about the first episode, a lot of people say it's slow. I think he did an excellent job in laying the groundwork for what the show ended up becoming and what the show ended up doing later on the line. I think it was a good foundational show, and it was a multifaceted and multi-layered show. It showed somebody like D who, got off and beat a murder case, but it also shows someone like him being like morally conflicted. It showed like early on in episode 1 that basically that is a lot of red tape, that the city of Baltimore is a bureaucracy, and that it's difficult to get things done. So I think it did an excellent job in terms of laying the groundwork for what the show ended up doing after the first episode and on down the line.
Okay, and for me, I just like how the introduction, why the show was called The Wire, how The Wire got started. Basically, they're trying to, hone in into the Avon Barksdale or the Barksdale organization, or what Stringer Bell and them doing. So that's why I like it, and it was so well done. But last question, fellas. What stood out in episode 1 of the series to you? Or what stood out in episode 1 to you?
me personally, D'Angelo stood out, McNulty stood out, but I also like what somebody in the chat just said. I like her with the stripper. Oh, you like that scene? With, okay, that's later. Yeah, I was gonna say about the strip club. Baby girl that was in the strip club who liked D'Angelo. The coach talked about earlier.
Oh, she fine.
Yeah, man, she's so pretty.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah,
She
hey,
pretty.
that's a pretty young thing right there. I don't even lie.
Yeah, for sure. She wanted and D'Angelo was too. His guard was up too much. Like I respect the player. I respect what he was trying to do. He just didn't want her to milk him. But me personally, this is how I feel. People gonna feel differently about this one though. Like, bro, look, you in the streets, you doing all this stuff, this dirt, man. You gotta have some relaxation time. You gotta have a little time to play. How you out here making thousands of dollars a day selling dope? You deleting people. But when a stripper, a pretty one too, come to you correct, they ask you to buy her a drink and the drink $20, you acting like $20 is above your pay grade or something. Like, bro, $20? Fam, this is your homeboy. This is your uncle's spot. The money is staying. This is like
facts.
This is like me giving Coach 67 a super chat. The money's staying in house. So like, why are you tripping? Why are you acting like, oh man, I'm gonna buy a drink for $20? And like, come on, that was a sign of immaturity to me. I mean, he young, but like, bro, enjoy yourself. This is a nice looking chick. She like you, you like her. Like, what you scared of? What you like? What? I don't understand these dudes, bro. I don't. For the life of me, I never understood dudes who play the streets, make all this money, but then act like they gotta be super hard with some girl. Bro, listen, you gotta be cautious with broads for sure, because they'll set you up, they'll lie, and all of that. You don't want to be no simp or no Captain Save. But you finna buy her a drink, spend some time with her, possibly go home smash, put her in your rotation. What's the big deal? Even if every once in a while you take her out to eat, y'all go to a movie or you buy her some lingerie or something. So what? That's normal behavior, bro, to dudes who get money. I don't only in the black community is this myth, this lie, where dudes act like, nah, we don't give these chicks no money. Oh, we don't spend no money on bras. Nah, man, we ain't doing it. Like, bro, listen, man. I don't know what movies y'all been watching, but y'all need to stop watching them, because in the real world, that's not what happened. I done seen the biggest, baddest pimps that everybody respect. I done seen them marry their bottom chicks. I seen it. I done seen the biggest, baddest players. You can't nobody discount them as players. I done seen them take all their girls on a shopping spree and just shut down Gucci store. Go ahead and get what y'all want. Go and get what y'all want. Go and get this, get that. After a successful month or something. That's what people do. Like, y'all just be listening to these myths on the internet. Nobody got time. D'Angelo, he irritated me with that. You know what? I take back what I said. Avon should have knew he's a sucker. Get him out of here, man.
The 78 made the change. Just off that alone, but I agree, man. I agree. Man, the world is basically yours, man. You got money in your pocket, man. Get that girl that little $20, bro. You ain't hurting for it. But,
how you sell dope and you can't spend $20 on a drink for a girl, and she clearly want to have relations with you? Like, that's just ridiculous to me.
like you said, Ninja trying to be too cool for school. But same thing for you, Coach.
Well,
stood out in episode 1.
Well, like I said earlier, like, I'm a different kind of cat, so I notice different things. You know, I talked about how well The Wire laid the foundation and the groundwork for what the show ended up being beyond episode 1, but I noticed like the little subtle things. For example, I done been in a couple adult entertainment spots. Like I said, I'm a sinner saved by grace, so that's kind of one of the weaknesses I've had over the years. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been in places where they play, like Cash Money. At one point, Future was big. That type of music, bro. I know Aaron Neville is from New Orleans. I never heard Aaron Neville never use me played in no place like that. Like Pull Up a Bumper. Man, I never heard those kind of songs played in a place like that. So that's kind of one of the things that stood out to me, and I'm like, dang, bro. So that's one thing that stood out to me. Another thing that stood out to me, like 7-8 was saying, like, man, hey, you got this little pretty young tender, and you so standoffish. And I'm like, bro, like, like what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, I'm a heterosexual male. No, let me phrase that. A heterosexual man. So the thing that I kind of noticed about the Wire is, the women, the women in the club, and like where I am in my life is kind of two lanes. Like if I had like biological kids of my own, I could see somebody like myself. I think Shakima Griggs, in terms of, I think the fact that she was butch, it kind of downplayed that she kind of cute on the slick. But somebody like me, I think if I had kids of my own, I kind of see me settling down with a chick like that. And then, the chick that was trying to push up on D'Angelo, buy me a drink, baby, me being who I am and at the stage of my life I'm in now, minus her being in that life, I could kind of see me settling down with, at this stage of my life, I could see me settling down with a chick like her, minus the being in that life, being a dancer, that type of thing. So, I kind of noticed the women, me being a heterosexual man. So that's why I don't understand, part of me don't understand, like, why Omar gets so much praise. It's not that like I'm homophobic or anything, but I'm like, I think his the myth of him and his character is kind of like grossly overrated. But me being a heterosexual man that I am, I noticed the women in the show.
Yeah, I always thought Kima was cute, even though she on the other side. But yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know her and I are looking for the same thing, but I'm like, dang, bro, she kind of cute on the slick. Like if I had kids of my own, I could see me at this stage of my life settling down with a chick like that. But since I don't have kids of my own, I could probably see me settling down, with the chick that D was talking to, and he didn't want to buy the drink. So, minus her being a dancer, but I kind of. Not kind of. More than likely, that's what I'm gonna end up with, a chick like that. You know what I'm
saying? Right. Thanks. But what stood out to me in episode 1 is basically just how the Wire got started. Like I said, man, them trying to get some evidence on the Barksdale crime syndicate, and that's how the series just started. So, like I said, it's so well done. So, like you said, Coach, a lot of people think it's kind of slow, but I mean, I like get to creating the story so they can get to the good stuff later. So I appreciate that. But fellas, I think we did great recapping episode 1. 78. Let people know where they can meet you and see you, brother.
Oh man, y'all can see me right here on YouTube. It's 78 Sports TV. You can catch me on Patreon at patreon.com/78 Sports TV. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm on Instagram, under the name Kevin Nash. So y'all can check me out there as well. But mainly right here on YouTube. Appreciate y'all, man.
And please do not forget about the LDBC General. We're really trying to push his backup channel because he has a nice following on his primary channel, but YouTube playing these funny style games, and we trying to push the backup channel. Maybe we can kind of do something on the backup channel, kind of get it going. But y'all go check out the backup channel too. Here's a video talking about one of his former favorite fighters who kind of been moving like a sucker these last handful of years, Keith Thurman. So go check out the brother backup channel and go subscribe.
Please do.
Yes, sir.
Please do. And my brother Jado 11 Green, tell the people where they can meet and see you.
Yes, you can find me at Gerald O. Evergreen. I was spelled there. I'm on YouTube. I have the Southern Baller Show. That's my baby. Every Sunday, or we try to have it around 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I have brothers like Coach 67 Sports TV, who's the actual coach. Big Joe Townsend, who actually played D1 ball and was a 4-star football player coming out of high school. And then Jay Good sometimes pops in. He was a hell of a ball player in college, and even played ball at the coach alumni.
The Southern University, home of the mighty.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Southern Jaguars. So yeah, and of course my twin brother JB, man, who was knowledgeable in football like I am. So yeah, we just just chop it up about ball, man. So come join us, man. That's it.
And of course, we appreciate everybody in the chat. Relax and Calm Rain. In fact, I'm gonna post a link to Relax and Calm Rain. If you listen to Rain videos, go to sleep. Y'all go check out Relax and Calm Rain. Motivation to be a millionaire. Our good brother Jay Good. Salute to Jay Good. And definitely salute the Black Friday 150. Came in and showed love. And salute to our brother Cadillac Red, Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. Y'all also go check out his channel. He's a primary.
Please,
channel.
him and KG and 503, all them brothers. Yeah.
I mean, all them usual suspect brothers. All the usual suspect brothers that we rock with. Go check them out. And go check out his backup channel, Supreme Beast After Hours. And of course, my good brother Jay Good, man, we appreciate everybody that dropped in, showed some love today. I'm getting ready to go to A.W. Mumford Stadium, Pete Richardson Field. So y'all check out my post-game reaction to
Hey, hold on, Coach. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention Brent Fox. Y'all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Go check out our brother Brent Fox. He up to like 100 subscribers, so we're trying to push his channel too.
Yes, sir.
So we'll check out Brent Fox. In fact, just go check out all of our LDBC family members that's rocking with us to support us, that show us love. We appreciate everybody for dropping through, showing love. Next week we're gonna break down episode 2 of The Wire. We're gonna catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed, phenomenal day, blessed, phenomenal evening, blessed, phenomenal weekend. Y'all catch me with my post-game reaction. Catch y'all on the flip side. Peace and blessings.
Y'all be blessed.
Yes, sir. Peace, y'all.
Peace.